What's going on? My name's Roman and welcome to Roman Rose Collectible Coliseum. On today's episode, we're taking a look at the DC McFarlane Multiverse Batman Who Laughs figure. Now, this is one that I've had for a little while. I've had it long enough that I lost one of his accessories, so let's get that out of the way right now. He came with two accessories. He came with this short-handled scythe-looking thing, and then he came with a really cool knife. I lost the really cool knife. I don't know what I was doing with it. I'm pretty sure it was the day I got it. I opened it in the car and I put both accessories in his hands, and I was walking across my lawn, and by the time I got to my front door, I noticed it wasn't there. So gone to the squirrels. Gone forever. But yeah, let's go ahead and just take a look at what we do have left, which is the base, the figure, and this really cool scythe. This figure is absolutely incredible. You can see him just moving in with minimal effort. He does have some really nice ratchets everywhere. Just taking a look at the sculpt though. All these buckles, all this silver paint applied. The back looks really good. The tattered coat bottom looks really good, like Batman's cape would. And then the face is pretty gross. You see some sculpted lines right above where his eyes would be. So like he is making some kind of facial expression. But yeah, overall the sculpt on this thing is an A+. I love this thing. This is one of my favorite figures, period, right now, regardless of company, which is really interesting because so far the only thing I've liked out of the McFarlane line is the animated Harley Quinn. So let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation from the ground up, this gorgeous, gorgeous Batman Who Laughs figure. Okay, so you should be able to find this for $20 to $25 depending on where you go. But yeah, taking a look at the boots. Boots are sculpted really well, peg holes in the bottom. There is slight toe articulation, which pairs really well. That's a little more than slight, which pairs really well with this ball joint at the ankle, because you do get rocking motion back and forth, so I really do like that, ball joint at the ankle. We do get double jointed knees, which is really nice. So you see there we have that kneecap that stretches out over across. We do not have an upper thigh swivel, kind of, so it's kind of hidden up in here in the hip build. But you see I have to turn it from here, and that's only, it's not very much, and that's all I'm getting out of this guy. And I've already had him for a while, trying to get more articulation out of him. Now he does do the splits pretty well, and then exposes the mechanics in there. He can kick up to 90 and kick somebody in the chest, like Spartan kick, so that's actually pretty cool. I like that posability on him. But then looking under here, like most figures, the butt is going to impede the backwards motion. So it really doesn't go back very far at all, which is understandable. This isn't someone who's going to be in like super dynamic poses. It's not Spider-Man. But, you know, you mostly want this guy to stand there and look intimidating, which he absolutely does. Oh, great sculpt on this figure. So moving up into the figure, we do have a waist swivel, which is really nice. Now this whole piece is one solid rubber upper, but you can feel on the inside that there is torso articulation. You can feel it happening in here, so it's really interesting that they still articulated the torso underneath, even though you really don't get a huge range out of it. Looking at the hands, my only complaint for this figure would be that the hands are really white. When you compare them to the face, they're like really white, like Mickey Mouse glove white. But taking a look here, they do rotate. There is a hinge, so you can hinge them around. There is no gauntlet cut, which is fine, but there is an upper bicep swivel, which works really well. Double jointed elbows. Looks fine. Bicep swivel, arms come out. Of course, they're going to be impeded a little bit by the, you know, this shoulder piece. So, I mean, really, the arms have really good range on them. So you can bring them back and have them, you know, just kind of do whatever. I like having them kind of touch his mouth and tilt his head up to the side like that. Looks kind of daydreaming and menacing. So, works really good, upper torso articulation. The head has some decent articulation. You see you can move it like that. You can kind of tilt it to the side as well as turn it. The only limiting factor here is the collar. The collar is going to get in the way of the chin. You will not be able to turn it any further, which is fine. Sculpt on the head is fantastic. If this was just buying a head to pop onto a Batman later on, I would totally get that. I'd buy this thing piece by piece. If they were going to do a Build-A-Figure, this definitely should have been the Build-A-Figure, because a lot of people like this. Another really minor complaint, I don't know if you can tell, but this ear is a little bit taller than this ear. And even though they bend in, it's still taller, which is interesting. I don't know if I can... I don't want to try to mess with it. I don't want to shave it down. Judging by his teeth, I'm guessing he's not too concerned with being perfect. But yeah, this thing's really cool. It did come with 2 accessories, one of which is the scythe handle. The only... Okay, another minor gripe is the handles for these McFarlane figures are really thick. Like, it almost takes away from that... from the illusion that it's a toy. Or that, you know, it's supposed to be like an action figure, it's supposed to be a comic figure, it's supposed to be representation, but when you have a handle that's like a freaking log, it looks a little clunky. I still appreciate that he has the weapon, not that I think he needs it, but I do appreciate that he has it. So let's go ahead and try to pose him up. So I am a big fan of the one leg up. So let's see if we can get him head tilted, touching his mouth. Trying to do something jokery and fun. Something, you know, something not... So yeah, let's see if we can get him standing like that. This peg system works really good. The pegs are deep. And for the most part, I haven't had any trouble standing my figures or figure. But yeah, that's with one leg up. So you could even do like one leg forward. As soon as I said the stand was good, we were really pushing it there. We were really pushing it there. Okay, let's try that one more time. We'll port that in. But I mean, yeah, this is a great figure, and it is in the 7-inch scale, so it's not going to fit with your 6.5-inch or 6-inch scale figures. Well, let's do some size comparisons. So first off, let's compare him to the DC Multiverse Shazam figure from the Shazam movie, which was already a little bit of a taller figure. This is one of my favorite outings from DC, and you see, this actually isn't a bad sizing. This was more, I think, 6.5-inch, so not bad. Of course, he's leaning back a little bit. So yeah, not terrible. They size pretty well together, but again, this is from a movie, and this is from a comic, so we're going to scooch by with that one. Let's take a look. Comparing him to a standard size Marvel Legends figure, this is the Killmonger from the Killmonger Coulson 2-pack. And you see now the size difference is more pronounced. It's almost an entire head length taller, which is fine. This to me is a tall, menacing character, so I think that works for him. But yeah, there he is compared to a Marvel Legend. Now let's compare him to the DC Essentials Nightfall Batman, which is in the 7-inch scale as well. And you see these two figures scale really well together. Like, really, really well together. These look like they could be part of the same line, except the sculpt on this one is far superior to the sculpt on this one. I really do enjoy this figure. If you haven't seen that video, check that one out. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, that is what he looks like compared to that. So it looks like a more standard comparison. It's a figure that fits in with other DC figures. If DC is going to do 7-inch figures, let's do it. Let's do 7-inch figures. I don't think that your DC figures have to fit in with your Marvel figures. If you want them to, Mezco is a great option. I just noticed his ankle is all weird. If you want to, Mezco is a great option. But the DC Essentials line, and so far this one particular figure from McFarlane, have really captured my attention, so yeah. These are great figures to own. Both of these figures are the $20 to $25 range. Yeah, Big Bad Toy Store. I think is getting more of the Batman Who Laughs, and Big Bad Toy Store definitely has the DC Essentials Nightfall Batman. So, thank you everybody who watched, and as always, peace, love, keep on collecting, and I will see you guys next time.